to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. This citrus fruit of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and Spotify. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G.
And I am your also host, Austin.
Perpetual gun jumper, Ozzy Austin.
Yeah, I'm faster than a speeding bullet.
Some people would say that's a negative.
Ha ha! Naughty. No.
Naughty. You are naughty.
I'm just a helper here. Goody, goody.
If this is your first time listening, we are the Masters of the Nerdiverse. What that means is we kind of know a lot about everything. we use this as a platform to spread our knowledge.
That's an audacious statement.
We kind of know a lot about everything.
I'm more so like, I kind of know a lot about very select things that no one cares about anymore.
Same here. I am a speaker of dead languages over here.
Ah, speaker of the dead.
Yeah, man. I'm at In-N-Out trying to order a double in Latin. No one's feeling me. You know, they're just staring at me.
Yeah, I'm like Orson Scott Card, Speaker of the Dead. That was a good book before you realize he's a kind of crap human being.
Yeah, it's like realizing Scott Pilgrim maybe not be the best boyfriend.
How did nobody that's like in the comic itself, he's a terrible person.
Yeah, the whole point is that Scott is a dipshit. And, you know, like
people are just now discovering this? Really, people? Come on.
Scott is not the best person, man. He's not the hero the front cover tells you he is, man. That's the whole.
Oh, good God.
That's the whole point. There's no winners and losers in relationships. There's only people.
Well, I'm kind of winning in my relationship with my wife.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I feel pretty great about winning at this. I'm just going to say. Because I don't cheat on her like Scott Pilgrim did.
Scott Pilgrim cheated every chance he got, my man.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's a horrible... Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
How was your week?
Week was pretty good. I did quite a few things. I have finished The Boys season 1 with my wife because she never saw it, and we just watched it last week. Great series. Definitely recommend. It made me go really curious and read the first issue of The Boys on the comic run.
Yeah.
It's a very, very different series, all in all. Like, I've only read the first issue, like the first chapter, I guess you could say. It's a very different breed of story, honestly.
Yeah, man. Garth Ennis has a story to tell. And you get the idea that he may not like superheroes a lot.
You also get the feel that Garth Ennis kind of makes it feel like he doesn't like corporate America very much.
No, he doesn't. And watching The Boys, because I finished season 2 and I'm caught up. I finished season 1, I'm caught up to season 2. And they lay it on so thick that you almost gag on the corporate speak. You know what I mean? And it's just so disturbing. Like, and that's real, you know, that's like, these are conversations he's probably been in the middle of before. So it's just like, it's just an ugly feeling.
Yeah. Besides that, painted Warhammer minis, like usual. Did some homework, like usual. And I pre-ordered Hades a few months ago. Forgot about it until a friend mentioned it to me. I looked it up. It's like, oh, it's on Switch. Oh. Right. Yeah, it's out 1.0. So I've been getting into the thick of that, and my God, that's a good game.
Man, Supergiant won me over with Transistor. That was like my game. A lot of people used to get in at Bastion.
Yeah.
Mine was...
I got into Transistor as well right around PS4 launch, which was back in the day.
Dude, I got into Transistor when it was randomly a free game on PlayStation Plus.
Very much worth it.
And I just downloaded it and I beat it like over a weekend. Just not, it literally ate my weekend. It was all Transistor all the time. You know,
It's a good game, and honestly, it's like Transistor in a lot of ways, but it's on a lot of improvements as well. So, for those who don't know, Hades is a roguelike where you play the son of Hades himself trying to escape hell. And honestly, it plays so well. There is so much content, so many combinations, like any good roguelike out there. So many builds, possibilities. I just got past the first boss last night. I'm on to the level 2 area, essentially. Good, great. I love it. The dialogue, the customization, the capabilities all around is such a great way to spend your time. And it's honestly cheap. I think it's like $20 right now on Switch.
Yeah, man. Pick it up, dude. I mean, just pick it up. It's these guys, their games aren't necessarily AAA like some people would want to pick, but they're amazing. They're very well done. They're very polished. And they're just rock star. Like as soon as I finish what I've been doing, I'm going to pick that up myself and pick it up because they can do no wrong. Supergiant's pretty batting 1,000 right now.
And they do different genres too. Like Transistor and Bastion, the game before that, were very much adventure, CRPG, third-person platformer kind. Not platformer, just adventure kind of games. Then you have Pyre, which is kind of a sports game.
Yeah, Pyre is like a weird Quidditch / basketball kind of game.
It's great, honestly. And then you have bloody Hades here doing all the good things with a roguelike, and you just go, oh, this is what a great game feels like in my hands.
It's good to see, fledgling studios grow in their skill, right? Like you could see them learning and getting better. Like they're not stagnant, right? Not like a EA that pumps out the same Madden every year, right?
Yeah.
This is a team that is learning from their mistakes, and each game is a seismic leap from the other. That's super cool, and that's the type of team you can put money on. You know what I mean?
I agree, and honestly, I'm looking forward to see what happens, I guess, next with Supergiant, because they've just hit all the buttons and checked all the marks.
They don't do sequels, so it's gonna be something fresh and new and something that they're gonna be passionate about. We probably won't see it until later in the console life.
Oh yeah.
So it takes them a minute. So, and that's when you just let them take their time. Because they were working on Hades for quite a long time, man.
And it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was Hades
was in like beta and alpha for like, 2 years? People got to play this game?
Yeah, honestly. So besides that, that's honestly just my week. And also trying to figure out holiday stuff with the family, because COVID is weird.
Saxophone. Yeah. I've been a video game playing machine lately. I've been playing lots of the Vigia games, as Hank Hill would say. I'll start with Marvel's Avengers. I played and beat that and kind of dabbled my toe into the multiplayer. Now, first things first, I'm just going to lay out the positives before I go into the negatives. I'm going to make this very quick. Graphically, the game is about a 85% of 100, meaning it's not bleeding edge graphics, because there are certain points where the graphics are funky. Like Tony, some of the characters have like 1,000-yard stares. Like Tony Stark has a 1,000-yard stare that can rival Luigi's, blue shell assault,
Yikes.
But you have characters that are like Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, who are just so well rendered that you forget, you go back into, the graphics are good. You can tell they put the most time into her than the other Avengers.
But what about the feminist agenda? Is it just too much to have female characters in this game?
The thing about that whole side of it is I don't feed the trolls, because I don't have enough money in my pocket to feed the trolls. I can't feed everybody.
I know. It's just pathetic people still trying to go feminist agenda when they have front-leading female characters.
If every single video game is not a bald-headed, Anglo-Saxon male, then there's got to be some kind of agenda behind it, right?
Exactly.
So those guys need to relax.
They're going to hate Miles Morales.
Oh my goodness. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the vitriol that's going to come out. What do you mean Spider-Man's not in the game? It's a Spider-Man game. Oh, you gotta love the internet. Kind of, you kind of hits you like in Twitter, like in Instagram, you kind of start feeling that grossness of those people, and they kind of seep into your feed and makes you lose like hope in the future, but you mush on.
It's like whenever you see people complaining about a certain console pre-order, and then like the Twitter comments are just like, "Give me free console."
We'll talk about that, man.
Yeah.
That's anyway. A whole can of worms. My biggest gripe with Avengers is not the shoddy polish on the game. It's not the game crashing on you. It's not even the quote unquote repetitive gameplay. It's really a lack of enemy variety. That's my biggest problem with the game. And it's a really missed opportunity. To the point where I was almost about to just write like a little video essay about it because it bothered me so much. Is that you have a game like Avengers, and it makes me think about back in the day when I played Captain America and the Avengers. You know that game, Austin? The old arcade beat 'em up?
Like the 1990s side scroller.
Yeah. With Cap, Iron Man, Vision, and Hawkeye.
Yeah, I remember that. And you fight Galactus. I think you fight Galactus at the end, or was it MOTN?
You fight Super Red Skull.
That's what it was.
You fight Ultra Red Skull. And the cool thing about that game is that it had beautiful villain variety. You got to fight Whirlwind and Grim Reaper and all these crazy kind of Avengers villains. And this game missed a huge opportunity to throw in those C-D-list villains that you're not going to get in the movies. You know what I mean? Like, all you fight in this game is Abomination, Taskmaster, and a bunch of robots. That's it. But same robots, not even different robots. You fight every variation of AIM robots you could possibly think of for every major story beat. And it's like, I get you don't want to flood your video game with villains, but they can be, like the Scorpion is not going to be a storyline eating character. You can throw in a Bartok the Leaper, you know what I'm saying? Like a random villain just to spice things up. The game felt like they only had a certain amount they can play with in their toolbox, and that was it. And that really hurt the game for me. I was like, man, this would be cool if this was this villain and this was that villain. And it just wasn't. It was just robot A5. It was the worst part about that game. But overall, it was an okay game.
Okay, that's good to know at least.
Also, I played the DLC for the Outer Worlds, Peril on Gorgon.
I don't want to know too much because I still need to play this game, but how is it?
It's okay. I'm not going to spoil it because it's DLCs. Okay, how can I put this? The game itself, Outer Worlds was my favorite game when it came out, 2019, I think, because it's so Fallout. It's Fallout, Mass Effect, and Knights of the Old Republic in one game. It's just that's the game. So the DLC. It's their first outing because I didn't think this game was going to get DLC because it was made kind of on the cheap. But the DLC is a side story that's very interesting. They do certain things and flesh out certain They flesh out certain antagonists that didn't get to be fleshed out in the last game. That's all I'll say on that matter. Mm-hmm. But overall, it was kinda, to me, to be honest, a little lackluster. The story was good, but once again, we go back to enemy variety, and the enemy variety were kind of just skins of other enemies in the base game. There wasn't like a new enemy type, at least that was extremely different. It was like, oh, I just fought a Rathalos. Now I get to fight Golden Rathalos. That kind of thing.
Oh God, yeah, Golden Rathalos.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that though.
Yeah. So it was kind of lackluster in that sense. Storyline wise, it was great. Always the writing team on that team is amazing. I once again recommend Outer Worlds to anyone who likes Mass Effect, who misses good Mass Effect, who misses good Fallout, who misses good BioWare. It just feels like good BioWare. It feels like BioWare again playing that game. So that's all I'll say about that. Because other than that, I'll go into spoilers. But I would recommend it. It's just the character. Enemy variety has been a stickling thing for me these last few games I've played. Other than that, been playing the new DLC for Borderlands 3. About Craig, which is interesting. I just started that, so not much to say on that. And other than that, it's just been finally getting ready to start working on my Gundam model kits so I can catch up to Austin on the hobby section there. So I'm probably going to be doing that today, and just trying to keep my head above water, man. That's been the modus operandi. You want to get into some polls?
Yeah, let's do it.
Poll of the week. It's so discreet. It's going to eat your meat, and then it's going to go pee. Exactly like that. That's what the poll does. That's what's in that order. So, surprise! PlayStation 5 is here.
Finally.
It only took Microsoft leaking their information for Sony to pull the trigger, which is so.
It took them a long.
It's so childish, man. You know, it's like, what were they like? Who were they really going to play chicken with each other all up until November?
It's a possibility. It could have happened.
Like, this is the price. It's out now. Like, really? You're going to do that to people in the middle of a pandemic? Like,
yeah,
what?
They are.
Anywho, man. Well, definitely, that's going to be actually the jumping off point for the news today. But for the poll, I wanted to ask the Nerdiverse what preferred version of the PS5 were they interested in. The options were the disc version, the discless version, or what they're calling the digital version, not buying it at all, and I even threw a wild card in there as where's my Xbox Series X, just to throw a little salt in there. Austin, would you please let us know the results of this poll?
So let's break it down. About 5% of the people here said not buying it at all, which is, respectable. They have better things to do.
Better things.
About 10% voted, where's my Xbox? Because, honestly, the Xbox Series X, this Xbox, it's looking pretty strong.
Man.
It's got a lot of qualifications to it, honestly.
It's more bang for your buck, I'll tell you that much.
It's very interesting that they're making a pretty much just a streaming device.
Yeah, they're pretty much making Netflix for games.
Yeah, and with EA included in the bundle, which is
kind of
rather
powerful.
strong. I mean, that is Microsoft's audience, is Microsoft Game Pass combined with EA. That's going to be their bread and butter, I think.
Because don't sleep. You'll be surprised how much money those FIFA games make, those Madden games make. If it's not your genre, you don't pay attention to it. But it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's staggering.
It's nutty. Right.
Interestingly enough, 31% of people voted discless version. So apparently some people are going to go for the digital version.
Yep.
Which is, that's interesting. That's not what I would do, because the vast majority said, I want a disc PS5, please, at 52%.
Very much. Yeah, because I like the option, right? Like I haven't physically bought a video game in like a year. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But I like the idea of the system being a home entertainment center, and you'd be able to pop DVDs and Blu-rays in that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? And use it as a multi-tool. I wonder, can CDs still play in video game systems? Can you put a CD into like a PlayStation 4? Can it actually play the music? I'm gonna test that. I'm gonna test that later. I'm gonna put in like a CD I made in 2002, like a mega mix, and see if it works.
That's a damn good question, actually.
I don't know if it would read it. Like I know the problem with systems is that they leaned into that too hard, where they were like, "No, your Xbox One is going to be your family entertainment center. It's going to do everything. No games, but it's going to do everything." And it was like, "But it's a game system." So now they're like leaning super hard into games, and it's like, yeah, this is all it's doing. We get it, but I would like the happy medium. You know what I mean?
I can definitely agree with that. It's just very interesting to see what they're all leaning into in the end, because it's just so different.
We're in a brand new scary world, man.
Well, we're also in a world where apparently they're going to try to charge what was it, $70 for a game now?
Yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into the news, man. And Let's get into let's just blow out this PS5 information, dude. Let's just start at where you started. Full price games, first party games are going to be $75 US going forward.
70 flat.
70 US.
Yeah, it's $69.99, which is $70. People, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just
I'm okay with it. I'm super okay with it.
As long as it goes back into the workforce, because let's be honest, there's no real reason for it to be 60 and to be 70 over 60, because microtransactions are a thing. It makes people lots of money. But honestly, if it goes up to 70, then let's just please give some of that earnings back to the people who actually make the game, which is the data entry, the graphic designers,
game testers.
Mm-hmm. Let's give it to them because they actually matter more so than the executives who have no clue what the game looks like when it's being developed.
And one thing I can say about PlayStation first parties is that they're not very heavy on microtransactions. It's not like Avengers is disgusting with its microtransactions, dude.
Yeah, I like you have to buy a Game Pass per character. Are you kidding?
Yes, it's invasive. It's super invasive, and it's such a big turnoff. And I'm like, if I have to pay $10 extra for a video game to not have to deal with that, I'm super okay.
Thanks, Disney. You definitely did this.
I don't know. I think EA did this.
No, it's Square. It's produced by Square Enix.
It's produced by Square, with Disney kind of being big brother over it. The microtransactions are so scummy, man. And if they're like, okay, you're gonna get Horizon, the new Horizon game, $70, but you don't have to worry about exploding loot boxes and praying to RNGesus that you get your role because you just spent $10 on a fun pack. I spend the money, dude. I will spend the money every day of the week because we haven't had a game price hike since the PS3.
Yeah, because remember, like at one point, games were about $50 flat, and then I remember being a kid and seeing the game price jump up to about 60. And I thought that's a lot. Back in the day,
they hiked with the PS3 when the PS3 was like $800 or something nuts, and back when Sony lost their damn mind.
Back when Sony did stupid stuff.
Yeah, like honestly, the worst precedent Sony set was actually making the PS3 completely fully backwards compatible, because now everybody wants that, and it's just not financially feasible.
Not at all.
You need a disk drive that can pretty much run back in time. It's not like it's going to have 3 separate disk drives, one for the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, And even that would be insanely expensive.
It would be just the stupidest thing.
Oh, man. Let's talk about this price, man.
So, like I said, as long as the price goes back to the people, I'm totally fine with it. It just needs to go back to the people who actually made the game.
PS5, there's 2 versions, digital and disc version, physical version.
This is the most fascinating thing. Both consoles are priced at the same price level. Xbox, PS5 at $499, both of them. That is
weird. That's unprecedented, I think.
I think that is kind of unprecedented, and honestly, I think that's for the best.
Yeah, man. It evens the playing field, man.
Yeah, and
that's good.
So what's your so what are you going to buy, Mike? Because I know you're going to buy a PS5. What are you going to buy if you can ever get a pre-order in? Because that
pre-order is such a hot mess.
We're going to talk about that.
If I had, in a perfect world where I walk into, let's say, GameStop and they're both on the shelf, I'm going to go PS5 disc if I can. Because, like I said, I like the option. I like the option to be able to pop a disc in or get that collector's edition. Even though, for the most part, I don't really buy physical media anymore. It's all digital. So, but I like the option. I don't want the option taken away from me. And once you buy that PS5, you're not going to buy another PS5 if you change your mind. You know what I mean? Like,
agreed.
Like I've stuck with my vanilla PS4 this whole time. Like I never went pro.
Ditto. And I really want this because honestly, I like collecting steelbooks. They're fun. They look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna one day get a magnetized wallboard and put them all up on there because it looks awesome. Mm-hmm. And the art is usually transcendent. It's great. So I would like a disc version because also there might be one day of, hey, you can't get online. Or, hey, all your save data just got fucked because of a malware function. Oopsie. Okay, you got to re-upload. Well, you better have that disc version on hand.
What are you going to do?
Exactly.
And it's one of those things where it's like Scott Pilgrim is just now returning after like 10 years. Don't you wish you had a copy of that this whole time?
I know, right? But let's also be honest. They said pre-orders began on September 17th, and pre-orders, thank you, Walmart, did not. They started
I'm so mad about
right
that.
away.
They started the second the pricing was announced. Walmart just blew the gates open and wrecked everything. Everything. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't get a pre-order. Like it's a madhouse.
Still
can't. I've been checking Amazon like every day. Like, okay. And the thing is, I'm reserved to the idea that I'll just wait till my birthday. Honestly. Like, I'm not.
When's your birthday?
March.
Oof. Damn.
It's a minute, but
well,
by then it won't be a problem by then.
They said they're going to still have stuff like available on the 22nd, which is at time recording in the future. But it's just a matter of like waiting because I've been waiting to do it again. Also, hot quick tip. Everyone's been trying to sell stuff off eBay because eBay allows pre-order sales, which is
horrible.
Stupid in the first place. Mm-hmm. If they try to sell any kind of product that is more than 30 days out from launch, it has to be taken down. And so, fun thing, if you go off eBay right now and find PS5 pre-orders, you can report them and they can be taken down.
Please do. Because scalpers have a special place in hell.
So everybody, if you do not like scalpers and want to report them, you can, and they will be having their posts taken down. So I have had great fun at 6 a.m. when I wake up to feed the dogs to go off eBay, sip it with my coffee, and just report.
I'm normally of the adage snitches get stitches, but scalpers are a special kind of evil. So screw them, report them away. Those are the ultimate like vultures. Because I saw one picture, some guy spent $25,000 on pre-orders. He just wiped out. Jesus Christ, like, evil human being. Speaking of things that may be evil, what are you thinking about the PlayStation Plus collection?
I don't think that's evil at all. What are you talking about?
I just think it's evil because it's not as vast as the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay, so let's be honest.
That takes time, I guess, to build up.
All right, so let's be honest. This thing is meant for people who are transitioning over to the PS5 and did not have PS4 at all. Because let's break it down. So if you have a PS5 and then you get the PlayStation Plus subscription service, which allows you to get online and any multiplayer game like Monster Hunter World or Call of Duty, and then you say want to get free games every month, you get PS Plus. And at launch, the PS Plus has several games available for PS5. And here's the full list. God of War.
Yep.
Fantastic. Bloodborne. Holy crap. Amazing. Monster Hunter World. God, yes. Final Fantasy 15. Fallout 4. Mortal Kombat. X. Yeah. Okay.
It should have been 11.
Uncharted 4. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank. God, yes. Days Gone. Have no clue. Haven't played it.
Yeah.
Until Dawn. Hell yes. Mm-hmm. Detroit, Become Human. Do it for laughs. Do it for laughs.
Do it for the lulz.
And Battlefield 1, good game. Infamous Second Son, great
game.
Play it, get it. Yeah. Batman Arkham Knight, depending. Last Guardian, depending. Last of Us Remastered, hell yes. Persona 5, yes.
That alone is going to sell people.
And Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Yes.
Yeah.
Like this, the value of this is that as soon as you get a PS5, there are
games to play.
Besides the launch games, which is also we're going to talk about soon.
Yep.
The value of this deal is well worth it to get PS Plus at launch or get those bundles where it's you get a PS5, you get a game, you get an extra controller, and you get PS Plus time card, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is instantly something to fucking play because this is so good. This is such a hot topic to get people. Even if you've like missed some of these games to play at launch, you have something now.
And here's the sticker. just get PlayStation Plus, which you're automatically going to need to play online anyway, and they're free. Just download them.
Arguably not free, but
they come with the service. Let's put it like that.
And as long as you keep playing PS Plus and play multiplayer, which a lot of people really do for PS5 in general, and you get the free games per month like usual,
you're golden.
Just this is amazing. Like, this is actually a great deal. Granted, Microsoft Games Pass gets you stuff for both Xbox and the computer because of crossplay. Because Microsoft has their foot on really, really heavily with computers, obviously. And being able to crossplay between Xbox and computer is a huge draw for a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
So honestly, at launch, this value pack for both consoles is staggeringly good for new people in general, for either one.
You sold me, man. You sure you're not a Sony representative, dude, with the suit? And
I've been playing Sony since PS1, my dude. I'm not going to hide my bias.
It's funny. I don't. Well, do you remember your very first game you put in your PlayStation 1?
I
remember mine. I remember my very
mine was
first game.
Spyro the Dragon.
I was Demolition Derby. That's the first game I put in.
Like God, I played Twisted Metal. Never mind.
My lineup when I first got a PlayStation when I was a kid was Demolition Derby, Tekken, Battle Arena Toshinden, and there was one more. I don't remember.
Oh, I just had a flashback.
It was Rich. It was Gran Turismo. I remember.
Do you remember back in the days of the PS2, they were demo discs, which had game files to demo for like maybe an hour at most.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird concept nowadays, isn't it?
Well, it's like the beta took over the demo.
Yeah,
right?
but people can't even get a demo nowadays.
No,
not demo a game at all.
No, you gotta get into the beta testing. You gotta download the beta and get to play the game for one weekend. But the thing is, demos were free. With beta, you have to buy the game for the most part. Sometimes.
And sometimes retailers though had demo discs which had like 10 games to demo for like $10 or something like that. It's like this is like nowadays that's such an odd concept. It's a good concept though. Like I wish we had more of those because it's like, hey, there's like a few games I want to play. Can I just like demo this, please?
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like, why not have that? My God.
I remember there used to be fighting game demos where you would get like Street Fighter Alpha 3 on a demo disc. You would get like Tekken Tag Tournament on a demo disc. And you would just pick a character and master that character. So by the time you bought the game, you were a god already. You know what I mean? Insta strats, Doug. Oh, good times. So there was the PlayStation event. And in that PlayStation event, there were certain games that were actually premiered. Because a lot of it was a lot of retreads of already existing games. Deathloop was one of the games that was retread. Demon Souls, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But we got to talk about these 5 bangers that they decided to premiere for this PlayStation event. And I can't think of a more stronger start to any conference ever than a numbered Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 16.
A numbered Final Fantasy.
So let me take this over because this is my baby, not yours.
You can have it, man.
This is my
I don't claim custody, man. You know?
So to preface this, the producer of this game is Naoki Yoshida, who is infamously known as Yoshi P, the guy who brought Final Fantasy 14 back to life.
Yep.
That is the biggest draw. The second biggest draw, Mike, the combat influencer and director is the same guy who did Devil May Cry 5 combat.
Yep. They snagged him. They stole him from Capcom for this game.
This is so much potential. And honestly, I'll say this much. This has callbacks to Final Fantasy 15's open combat system, which is honestly a good combat system. That's the best thing about Final Fantasy 15 in the first place. Not the story. The story here looks interesting. It's high fantasy medieval times, which is bread and butter for Final Fantasy in general. High fantasy, typically older times because it's just more fun that way. Eventually we'll get magic tech, but that's will be in the game at some point anyhow. The summons, the eidolons, the gigantic primal energies of elements themselves look great. Ifrit, who is a punk bitch, honestly, in Final Fantasy 14. Looks like he's on roids in this one. He looks like Behemoth and Ifrit got together and just fused and made this gigantic demon, and it looks amazing. And then we have the Phoenix, and it's like, yeah, give me some of that. Yes, give me this good goo goo. I love it. God, yes. 2021 cannot come fast enough for me on this game.
The combat. You mentioned the combat. There's a scene where he's fighting a Mongol. One of those. What are they called? Those big giant Venus flytrap looking little.
Morble.
Morble. Thank you. I'll make sure I get that name. Mongol is a race of people. Anywho, good job, great job. The combat looks like it's taking a lot from Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is not bad because that combat system was quite interesting. And with the guy who's doing Devil May Cry, who did Devil May Cry 5, steering that with Yoshi P, who has the organizational skills of a technomancer, for all the stuff he's sewn together with 14. It's the best of both worlds, it feels like. It's the action, immediacy, and high pace action of Final Fantasy VII Remake with the organization story and pretty much the UI of 14. And that's just a match made in heaven. Like, I just want to see that game's RPG system. How is that going to work?
I really, really do look forward to this because
is it multiplayer?
I hope not.
I'm going to get multiplayer. I don't know. Like, Final Fantasy VII was a multiplayer. Like, how big are the parties going to be? It's going to be like your standard RPG 4, 5, 6.
I hope it's like 4, 5 at most, because 4 is a good golden number for RPGs in general.
And I'm happy they're steering away from the steampunk Final Fantasies we've gotten sporadically since 7. I'm happy they're going more old school Final Fantasy 9 kind of feel.
Like I said, I think Magitech will come, and I think it'll be like a side country or faction or something like that. It's not gonna be
maybe like a third arc of the story kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Hogwarts Legacy.
This is the leaked Hogwarts RPG that was like 2 years ago, essentially, at this point.
Right.
There's nothing to take away from this besides a trailer, but looks cool. I like it's 1800s. It's more original that way.
Yeah, it gives you room to wiggle so you're not tied down to any particular character.
I like it. I hope it's good. I really do, because another Harry Potter game that's good would be nice.
Yeah, man. And the graphics look great. It looks like it's going to be well done. It's one of those things, it's a trailer, so I want to see the combat system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my baby, so shut up. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Virgil Edition, new soundtrack edition, infinite monsters on screen edition. And then you pass away, and then you turn into an angel. So this was leaked a very long time ago. This was leaked around the same time. You would say the Harry Potter leak was about a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That they were working on a Virgil mode. And Virgil's, of course, the antagonist of this story. You're going to play the game through him. And this is a bit of a weird one, because the game is coming out on both PC and the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. But each version of the game is going to have different attributes to it. The only system that is going to get the full experience for this is PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 4 version, I don't think is going to be getting any of the fancy ray tracing because it just can't handle it. And it's not getting the Ultra Dante Must Die mode, but it is getting the Virgil mode. The PC is getting the Virgil mode, but it's not getting the Dante Ultra Dante Must Die mode or any of the fancy upgrades, which is kind of weird to me that you would that you would let PC Master Race just go nuts with the graphics on this thing. So the really only true version you can play this on is the PS5. And I think that's kind of shitty, pardon my French, that you just release the game across the board. If you're going to release the game on 3 different platforms and let it play on 3 different platforms, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of de-hypes it a little bit, but at the same time, you get to play as Virgil. You could swap out between Virgil and V mid-fight. Everything's hyped up. They're going to remix the story. I'm very excited for this one, because Devil May Cry 5 was one of my favorite games of 2019, probably right behind RE Remake and Outer Worlds. It's like third or second, right in between second and third. So this is a big one for me. So I'm very excited about this game. Amazingly excited.
I think it has a lot of potential, honestly. It looks really cool.
And I've been scouring the internet for that new Virgil song, and I can't find it. But it'll show up eventually. If I can find it, I'll make it the ending of this podcast episode.
Good luck.
Good luck. Why don't you take us through Five Nights at Freddy's security breach?
I mean, I've never been a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, so I think it's interesting because I did not see it be the first 10, 20 seconds. I did not seeing it being a Five Nights at Freddy's.
I thought it was like a BioShock. It gave me BioShock vibes.
It's this is very polished.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it looks kind of cool.
Well, what is it?
It's a Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's just Five Nights at Freddy's has been evolving at a good pace, and this looks like it's almost like a double A, like not quite indie, not quite triple A, but like polish.
That happy medium, right?
It's very interesting, and I kind of hope that it goes well because this is. I don't have a strong opinion. I think
it's hard for me to talk about it. You know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like it's hard to talk about because it's only a trailer, so we don't have a whole lot of detail. It looks really nice, and it looks like a big game too.
Looks polished, but at the end of the day, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's game, which is pretty much a energy maintenance simulator. I'm
just gonna watch Markiplier play it.
and watch him have a legit meltdown.
Yeah, because he's like the number one finest Freddy player because he's solved it all.
Yeah, that was his bread and butter and how he became a name. I think he was still a big guy before that. But oh really? I don't know. I don't know a lot about Mark. I can't comment. I know
he's a good. I know he's like one of the better YouTubers, like ethically. But anyway.
Yeah. Anywho. You want to talk about this nothing trailer for what I'm calling it God of War? Ragnarok. You hear that music, you just get hyped.
Yeah, that's
boy.
God of War is coming to PS5. By the way, people freaking play it, please, because this is just going to be like if God of War was like you being seduced by the most charismatic person at the bar. Ragnarok is the aftermath at the hotel.
Yeah, Ragnarok is the people's family coming to the hotel and meeting you there. right in the afterglow. You're like, wait, what? And
I wouldn't say that. I think Ragnarok's gonna be like it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. I hope I say that well. I hope it's gonna be good.
The thing is that Ragnarok is them having the formula. God of War remake or God of War 2018 was such a gamble that it took them 5 years to get the confidence to put it out. Right? I watched the making of that, and that was uplifting, watching the making of that game, because Cory Barlog and that team were scared to death that people weren't going to like the direction they were going in.
Mm-hmm.
And God of War was a revelation. It was top 5 games in that generation. So now that they have the formula, they're pumping it out. Like, this game is coming out next year, 2021.
Yeah, that's the most surprising bit.
That's the most surprising thing, is that, okay, we got the assets, we can bump them up. We know what we're doing. We know how to do it. And that's why I love sequels, man. I love sequels because they learn from all their mistakes and all their insecurities from the first try. Now they can just copy, paste, and just build on top of it. You know what I mean? They don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm very excited for Ragnarok, whatever its name is. A lot of people are just calling it God of War Ragnarok.
That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. Fingers crossed. It's not like God of War 2, Electric Boogaloo, you know? So nothing's to be shown yet. We're probably not going to see a trace of that game until the end of the year.
Oh no.
We're not going to see anything.
If at all.
If at all. We probably won't even see anything. If it's probably going to launch holiday next year, if I'm being kind of using my big brain on that. One more game I want to talk about before we move on from PlayStation is Demon's Souls. Did you see this, man? Did you see this, dude? Did you see? Can you see?
I am so ready for Demon's Souls to be a launch game.
Oh my god, dude. This is so freaking good.
So let's be honest. There's not a whole lot of lineup for the PS5 for people who are ready for new games. However, Demon Souls and Spider-Man Miles Morales are pretty good bangers.
Starters.
Also, Ratchet and Clank. Let's be honest. I'm going to play the hell out of that.
Yeah, Ratchet. If I can get a PS5 this year, Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls, Miles Morales, I'm okay with those three. Those will get me through the year. Those will get me out of the hellscape that is 2020.
Especially Demon Souls, because my God, the online community for Demon Souls is going to be big.
This game is going to be beautiful, man. Have you seen how it's rendered? What's the name of the team that does these remakes? Blue Moon. Those guys are gods, dude.
Or something like that.
Like Blue Team or something like that. But they're the guys who did Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
And this game, it looks like a completely different game. Like they pulled the camera in a little bit, so it's more of a focus on the character. I don't know how that's going to affect the overall gameplay, because when you do that, you have to kind of rejigger the entire game at that point. When you adjust the camera a little bit, but it looks tight. The graphics are immaculate, running on a PS5.
Oh, it's Blue Point. That's what it is.
Blue Point. There we go. Blue Point. I thought it was Blooper Team. I don't know why I didn't want to say it, but man, this game looks great.
I am so ready for more new Salt because of this game. The game that was the prototype Dark Souls that launched FromSoft from Armored Core games to Souls games.
Now, please, FromSoft, from the bottom of my heart, make another Armored Core game for the PS5, please.
That would be awesome, honestly.
Please just make another Armored Core game. I want one really bad.
I like mecha games.
And Armored Core is so freaking detailed.
I know, right? It's so gritty.
It's so great. Just make another Armored Core.
Persia.
Yep, we could talk about Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time HD remake. It's back. That's a plus. Prince of Persia is back.
Ubisoft is really trying to gauge interest in this IP.
There's no money. You can already tell there's no money really being put into this thing. Which is sad, you know.
It's like
they're doing the Capcom test, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually.
They're doing the Capcom test where it's like, let's just put this thing out into the ether and see what kind of pull we get. Because let's be honest, Assassin's Creed is not pulling what it used to. Right? And Assassin's Creed was the Prince of Persia killer.
I mean, you say that, but it's still one of Ubisoft's biggest marketing pulls is Assassin's Creed in general.
I know, but is Assassin's, I mean, since I would say Unity, Assassin's Creed's been building back up their bravado because Unity was such a cluster.
But then
Odyssey,
Origins, and that was really, really good.
Origins was really, really good. I played in 100% in Origin. Didn't play Odyssey because I just didn't play Odyssey. Black Flag was really good, really good.
Oh, Black Flag was my favorite.
Yeah, Black Flag was between Origins and Black Flag and 1. I love Assassin's Creed 1. I don't know why. It was one of the first games I played on 360. But Prince of Persia coming back and looking very lackluster is a little underwhelming, sadly.
It's like as if, I don't know. It's as if, what would be a single analogy? I can't really think of one because it kind of flummoxed me when they made this announcement. It's like, oh, okay, I guess this is going to come back.
This is a thing. And there's room for Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed, you know?
Obviously.
There's very much room for both, and I think if Ubisoft was smart, they would leverage both in different ways. Prince of Persia should play completely different than an Assassin's Creed game.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Assassin's Creed, there was a lot of Prince of Persia in it. You know what I mean? The scaling, the sword fights, you know what I mean? But Prince of Persia does have that time, you know, the whole time manipulation that in video games can be done to very staggering effects. So I hope that Prince of Persia, this remake, makes money. Depending on the price point, I may even pick it up just to support, because I think Prince of Persia is an important property, but it's also Ubisoft, and Ubisoft are gross, so I kind of don't know how to feel about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with that, like, that one game we didn't mention, the Tom Clancy game with the, yeah.
Yep.
Umbra. Yeah.
Umbra. Here's our
Anywho.
our well-known Splinter Cell character, Zero.
All right, so for the better news, Nintendo at a mini direct,
Yep.
weirdly, announced 2 Monster Hunter games coming out next year. One is Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is cute.
Cute. A sequel.
I mean, yeah, it's a cute sequel.
Yep. RPG kind of.
Now move over, boys. We got Monster Hunter Rise coming over.
Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch, which is the spiritual successor to Ultimate and the spiritual successor to World and Iceborne on the Switch. It emphasizes on traversal. It just looks great.
Let's be completely honest. This game is being directed by the same guy who made Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, which was one of the better portable games for Monster Hunter ever.
Yep.
And this is I love how Monster Hunter teams are splitting between the mobile base, the portable base, and the console base. Because right now it looks like Monster Hunter World is going to have its own team at this point, which I really, really want for PS5.
Don't split them up, right? Because it's obvious, we all know that Monster Hunter World 2 was in the works. It was Capcom's most lucrative game in the past 5 years or something like that. So we know that's coming. Chill, our dude bros who are like, I don't want to play it on the Switch, and relax, dude. That game is coming. Don't be so naive. But there's a whole nother team of talented people who made Rise on a portable system that is going to be fun as hell, and that's going to tide you over.
Exactly.
You know? This game is,
And honestly, I mean, it has the mechanics of hey, you get to swing anywhere, because we realize that people like switches and being able to swing around with little grappling hooks in World.
Right.
And you got a little doggo.
Palamutes. Palamutes are in effect, dude.
Oh.
If you wanted dogs in your Monster Hunter, guess what? You got yourself.
You got a dog and you got a cat. Guess what?
A cat. Guess what? I'm rocking both, dog. I'm rocking both. Our 2 doggos. But the thing is, the cool thing about it is they both serve different functions, right? So the Palamutes, the dogs, are more attack based, whereas your standard Palico is still going to be support based. So you can have both, and you can run with a small squad. And the cool thing is that for this game, if you're running with multiple people, those people can bring their pets along with you. So you can literally have like a hunting party, which is awesome. So you have a team of 3 with everyone has 2 party members, or two AIs, a Palico and a Palamute. You're running with 8 or 9 people on one hunt. That's going to be crazy, dude.
Well, I just can't wait for this, because it looks so good. Dude, my God.
They have insect base. That's one thing we missed in World and in Iceborne. They have insect based monsters, dude. I'm so hyped.
Oh yeah,
we're getting bugs back, dude.
That's such a big thing on the Switch. You never played it, I guess, so it makes sense. But yeah, this is just honestly fantastic. I love it. And right now, if you go for the Monster Hunter Rise Special Edition, you get a Palamute plush, a plushie Palamute, which is cute. And more importantly, you get a leather Switch case with the Monster Hunter emblem on it.
I've been using my leather Breath of the Wild case for the longest now. I think I may have to retire that for this one because I love me some Monster Hunter, and people don't understand how much I love Monster Hunter. It was my favorite. I put so many hours into that game. It's probably low key my favorite game of the generation, Monster Hunter World.
You should have played Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch. You would have been blown away.
I'm thinking about doubling back on that while we wait for because when did they announce announce date? March, around my birthday.
Yeah, so, that's a take a weekend off and just binge.
And I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna pick that up. Monster Hunter Rise, and I may just play Ultimate in the meantime.
Yeah, go for it.
And plus, we still have Fatalis coming up soon.
I'm
Fatalis next month or something like that.
I don't know if I'm going to play against Fatalis, because that's just a trauma ready to go back to me.
Man, if you can beat Alatreon, you could beat Fatalis, dog.
Nah, not at all.
Nah.
Fatalis is worse.
I know Fatalis is worse, man, but We need to squad up and handles it, dog.
You need to tell me how it's going to go.
Shit, I'm gonna let you know. You'll be able to see when I come back to the podcast with a missing arm and leg. Vitalis, huh? Yeah, he ate my arm and made it into like a shoelace for his boots.
There you go. Yeah, literally.
Man, let's get into the rest of this news. You just want to wrap it? I know we kind of spent a bit of a minute on gaming news because there was a lot of gaming news. You want to rapid fire the rest of these news, bro?
Yeah.
All right, real quick. We're going to do a real quick yeah or nay. And for those who don't understand, I want to explain the rules of yeah or nay if you're a first time listener. So really quick, yeah or nay goes like this. I'm going to read an article, a news article, and Austin has the option to say yeah or nay. If he says yay, we'll talk about it briefly, about 2-3 minutes. If he says nay, I am forced to move on and we dead the conversation. I get one veto, but once I use that veto, I can't use it anymore for the rest of the episode. Capiche?
Capisci.
Capisci. Let's start. Possible signs of life detected on Venus. Future studies funded.
Yay, because now Russia's calling Venus a Russian planet.
Sweet, dude. They own a planet, Doug. They first, no takey backsies, dog.
Space war.
Space war. They called it, dude. We can't, they called it first. What are we going to do?
Shit fire. I love it.
I love it.
That's all I have to say.
Humans are so petty, dude. Mandalorian season 2 trailer. Wherever I go, he goes. Yeah or nay?
Yay. Because I know you're going to be mad if I say nay.
The whole reason I got Disney Plus was for the Mandalorian.
The whole reason I pirate Disney Plus off a buddy's account is for the Mandalorian.
Hey, this is the way, dude. I like that they're kind of starting to play with the idea of Jedi, even though, honestly, I want Jedi so far away from the Mandalorian, it's not even funny. I want to keep Jedi in the shadows and make them this mysterious kind of splinter group. The second you involve Jedis, Star Wars gets stupid to me. Hot take. Jedis are so overplayed and so oversaturized. It's refreshing not to have them around.
I agree. And more so Jedi. I think Jedi and Sith can be fun if they just do them right. Like, stop making them...
Apparently, that's very hard. Apparently, it's very difficult.
Hard, yeah. They just need to make them, I don't know, easier to, like, just say, hey, you're not the most important thing in the world. Or, hey, it's easy to kill a Jedi. Because Jedi are just power fantasies.
Hey, guess what? There's a whole section in Knights of the Republic 2 where they talk about the infinite ways you can kill Jedi without being force sensitive.
God, I love that one.
Fascinating.
Like, this is just a religious schism war, and you put the common people in the middle of it. This is just a religious war. Yeah. To hell with you.
There's no difference between Jedi and Sith whether you've been run through with a lightsaber. First trailer premiere for the Animaniacs reboot. Yay or nay?
That is surprising.
Animaniacs is back. Do they have cultural relevance? Do they need it? I don't know. I think
they still could. I mean, there's always things to make commentary on.
There's plenty to make commentary on in this crazy world we live in now.
It's a little bit weird to reboot instead of just doing something like, I don't know, Successor.
If it was a continuation of Animaniacs, that would be better. That would be funnier, actually. But to completely reboot them, I don't like that idea.
Yeah, it kind of like robs the idea of originality.
Because the thing about the Animaniacs is that they were non sequitur, right? They were fourth wall breaking characters.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So if they don't have a conscious understanding that they are being rebooted, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the Animaniacs in a weird way. Anywho, DC Universe service is switching to comics only in 2021. The death of the DC Universe online service as we know it. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Pour one out for DC Universe people. Orphan Black's Tatiana Maslany has been confirmed casts as Jennifer Walters, cousin to Bruce Banner, also known as She-Hulk for Disney Plus's She-Hulk show. Yeah or nay?
I have no confidence in this.
Whatever. Okay. Here's the thing, and I'll be very brief on this, and this is my only comment. Tatiana Maslany is a great actress.
Agreed.
She'll kill it. If this show even has a hint of court procedural, I will be completely sold. Make it Law and Order for superheroes.
I want that. I really want that.
Make it Law and Order for superheroes. That's all I want. That's literally all I want. But do I ever get what I want? No. But that being said, if the She-Hulk transformation is on par, even close to what they're doing in Endgame, which is a big ask, if the She-Hulk transformation doesn't look stupid, I'm all in. If the
Also,
Shield,
it has to be permanent.
well, that's the thing. She's it's Jennifer Walters isn't constantly She-Hulk all the time, but she's the majority of the time she's She-Hulk.
Yeah,
she only powers down like once every 2-3 months,
and she needs to be a competent lawyer.
Yeah, she has to be brilliant. She has to be like Matt Murdock levels of lawyering.
I think technically in the comics universe, she's more competent than him because she becomes a judge.
She becomes a judge. Yeah. Jennifer Walters is very accomplished in that arena, and she's more successful than
Agreed.
Matt. But then again, Matt downplays his Matt takes pro bono, so
Matt's also like addicted to hardcore violence.
Yeah, and Matt is also a little insane.
Like, hey, you want to like defend this case of like this kid being shot by a cop? No, I'm gonna go kill that cop.
No,
Matt, no, we don't want. I'm gonna go kill the cop.
Hey, Matt, you know that murderer that you were trying to convict? Yeah, he's been acquitted. Oh, it's okay. I'll just beat the shit out of him later.
Oh God.
Daredevil's a problem, dude.
Daredevil's been like done dirty for a while.
I love Daredevil, man. Never change, man. Never change.
Okay, so Bond movie script taking on a new direction.
Yay or nay? I just want. It's a nay for me because this movie's never get made.
It won't be. Not since that 1990 something or other movie.
Todd McFarlane, Dream On.
Oh boy.
Lovecraft Country's Jonathan Majors is cast as a major role, nothing confirmed, in Ant-Man 3. They're saying he's going to be Kang the Conqueror.
I do not care. Nay. I'll say this much. Kang the Conqueror is a okay villain, but Ant-Man is, I think, the weakest element of the DC universe, of the Marvel universe. Ant-Man
is the heart of the MCU, and I will take no slander. But I will accept your nay because I do not feel like vetoing it. Not a lot of meat in this gym bag. I'll let it pass.
You don't want to waste your veto.
I don't want to waste my veto, dude. So we'll move on. Dune trailer.
I am actually okay with ending things on Dune. Because
what do you mean?
The main character is Kylo Ren and Rey's baby from Star Wars.
I'm okay with that. They kissed, so they obviously are ultra love, right? They've been in love this whole time.
And then they pushed out this little baby, and they used the Force to transport them to an alternate universe and made Dune out of it.
Yeah, and Rey was just being tsundere, which is why she hated him for the entire series up until that kiss.
I'm sorry. How gatekeeping Dune fans are so mad at this rhetoric on Twitter.
So mad, dude. Dune fans are so tilted over everything about this trailer. This is why
it's fine to be tilted, but don't gatekeep people. God,
this is why studios can't listen to us anymore. Studios can't listen to fans anymore, dude.
No, it does depend. It does depend because sometimes studios don't make any kind of smart decision at all. But whenever the fans are toxic, they can do whatever they want.
And that's the thing. Like, we've ruined because we had this beautiful open door that was social media, where if something was wrong, we had this beautiful open door where we could communicate possibly to the director, to the people who make decisions. And bend their ear if enough people got mad about it. Look at Sonic the Hedgehog. They saved that. We saved that movie, right? But we've poisoned the well when you have people sending death threats to Rose Tran and calling, people out their names and gatekeeping properties. It's the one thing that makes me so weary about being a podcaster, being in this industry. It's having to see out the corner of my eye. People just gatekeeping, like, you don't understand the histories of Dune, and you haven't read all 5 chapters of the Children of Dune, and it's like, let people like it, man. Just let people like it on its base. Why do you have to be this way?
Exactly.
Why do we have to be this way? Fans.
I think this will be a perfectly mediocre movie.
The director hasn't done any wrong. He directed Blade Runner 27. What was it? 20 something.
20 something other. Yeah.
He's up there with. He's one of those directors. He's up there with like Mike Flanagan, where it's like, yeah, anything you say you do, I'll watch. You just don't make bad content. So if anything, the movie's going to be beautiful. Will it be anything worth chewing on? I don't know. It's
gonna be a good. Hey, gonna rent this movie tonight. Gonna make some popcorn or some chicken wings and just chill.
hey, it's on Amazon. Let's watch it.
Yeah, that's going to happen, honestly.
And the thing is, I don't know a lot about Dune, to be honest. I'm so like
all I really know is Shai Hulud, the worm that eats.
And all I know is that spice must flow. That's all I know. You have to understand that spice must flow. That's all I know.
Yeah, honestly, that's about the only two things I know.
What are you looking forward to?
More Hades, more Warhammer minis, and chilling, just like chilling like a villain. That's about it.
I'm looking forward to cracking open this Gundam, bro. I'm about to do some ASMR for the channel, and I'm gonna show you this Gundam box real quick. Like, where is it? Where is it? You hear that? That's a Gundam. About to crack this bad boy open.
Get those sprues all laid out and get some clippers and files and knives.
And spray cans and the whole shabarong. You have any last thoughts before we close this bad boy out and I go into our ending spiel?
No, party on, my dudes.
Just a reminder to everyone that we're still in a pandemic. The country is opening up. Things are getting better. Please still be smart. Please still be safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Turn a page, wash your hands. Social distance, please. We're not out of it yet. We could all speed this up if we just, be a little considerate to our fellow man. If you're not feeling well, go get checked out. Just wanted to put that out there. I recently walked by a party on my way home, and I saw maybe 40 people in front of in a front yard. None of them wearing masks. Made me cry a little. I just wanted to just put that out there. There's no Nerdiverse without you. And if we're all diseased and destroyed, then we can't talk about nerd stuff. So
yeah,
wanted to put that out there, peoples. If you like this content, you like to support it monetarily, please join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/MOTN, where with $1 a month, you can support our channel and give us the solid gold giraffes that we've always wanted. And if you want to support us non-monetarily, you can always do so by liking our content, by subscribing to our channels, and by commenting on our work, because feedback is important. And if this is the first time you've ever heard this podcast, I would like to be the one to say hello and welcome you to the Nerdiverse. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I am your host, Austin.
And we will always ask you to take that one step. Say with me, Austin. Beyond.